Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. We have an exciting craft in tonight. Creative Partner Brandy, she's going to be creating with the Joy to the World paper crafting kit. This is our December kit. So she's going to be making a layout for you. She has the sketchbook there. And then joining Brandy is Leslie. She's going to be reading the comments and interacting with you all this evening. Brandy, if you want to introduce yourself, and we'll wait for some comments to roll in here real quick.
Hey, everybody. Long time no see.
Hey, everyone.
There's Leslie. Let me turn off my sound here. I'm trying to get it so I can see and not hear on my iPad. That way. Glad to be back. I have my special guest this time is my buddy Leslie, who is also a creative partner, which you guys probably know. And I am not finding the volume on the iPad.
And I'm super excited to be helping Brandy out tonight. I know some of you probably don't know who I am, and some of you do, but if you don't, my name is Leslie, like Brandy had stated, and I'm also known by the name Scraps of Mine. And yep, I'm a creative partner as well.
Yay. Well, we're super grateful to have both of you with us tonight. As Brandy's creating with the Joy to the World kit, if you are looking for ideas and inspiration in there, I will post the link to the idea book we have for this kit. And then also, if you have not purchased this kit and you're looking to get one for yourself, in the description of this event is a link to the kit. And then I'll be posting it in the chat as well. So with that being said, Leslie, I am going to turn it over to you.
All right.
Let's see, Kelly's with us already. Hey, Kelly. And Sharon.
And I am still looking for it on my side real quick here.
It's on the Kiwi Lane Designs page. And I also shared it to my page. If you want to go to my page, you can get it that way.
Perfect. All right. There we go.
So we are excited to be here with you guys tonight. Today was my last day of school before Christmas break. We got out at lunch and had our luncheon. So I came home and it's been nice. Rain, lots of rain here and crazy weather, of course, last weekend. As most of you know, if you've seen the news, I am here in Tennessee and I had tornadoes. I'm right on the Kentucky-Tennessee line. So I had tornadoes 30 minutes north of me, 20 to 30 minutes north, and 20 to 30 minutes south. And then, of course, Mayfield, the hardest hit, was like 2 hours from me. I go to a big crop there. So lots of people I know affected. So, and then yesterday and today, we're getting lots of rain on top of the massive destruction. So I am excited to be here with you again. Leslie has done some lives before, but she is joining me as my special guest. Last time I had Sandy, another Kiwi Lane creative partner, and this time I have Leslie. So Leslie's going to read comments and interact with me so that I'm not sitting here talking to myself. I'm still in a room talking to myself, but Leslie can hear me live, and then she's going to be able to tell me without me having to stop and scroll back on comments. She's going to look at the comments so you guys can interact with us through those. But we are working, or I am working. I tried to talk Leslie into scrapbooking with me tonight, and so she's not going to tonight, maybe next time. But we are working. We are working with the Joy to the World kit, like Sonia said, which is the December Kiwi Club Kit. It is available over on the website. If you are not a Kiwi Club member, you can get it still. It is up. When I looked earlier today, it was still up and available. You just don't get the discounted shipping and the discounted price. So it behooves you to subscribe to Kiwi Club, but you don't have to. But it's a really cool kit. And I have pulled the cards and the templates out of that, but I have not looked at the paper or anything. But I am going to scrap some Christmas pictures. I have pictures of the tree, we had what we were told a 20 to 25 foot tree donated to the school. And this is the commons area of our school, and the gym's here and the cafeteria is on this side. And we go to put it up, it was far bigger than that's the 20 feet, but we didn't put the two bottom sections on it. So the kids made ornaments and on paper, my students printed them out. And so we put Heritage Patriots and soccer and all that kind of stuff on there. I bought some ornaments, some art students made ornaments. And so I have these pictures that I'm going to use because a lot of work went into this tree with me, my students, the course students, art students, and others in the building. So I have chosen a layout. Let me get this out of the way. That I'm going to use out of the new sketchbook. It's not so new anymore. It's a month or two old. But I plan to use this sketch up at the top, except I'm not going to use, obviously, the United States and the houses. I'm going to have trees and other things up there, and I'm going to Christmasify that Kiwi Lane sketch. And so that
Brandy?
I'm going to have pictures. Yes.
What page did you say that was on in the idea book?
21.
All right.
This is page 21 if you want to see it closer. Hey, Carrie, I can see that comment up. There's that. Kay found us.
She did. She found us.
Sonia's posted the kit in the comments too, if you do not have the Joy to the World. But I plan to use this and the December kit with the Christmas pictures from work from school. So this is page 21 in the book, and I have already pulled out some Christmas templates that might come in handy besides the ones that come in the kit. Like I said, I haven't even opened mine yet. It's been crazy at school, but I pulled out the ornament display. And I have different things laid out here that I might pull in to the layout. One thing I couldn't find was my tree and Tiny Holiday. I have Tiny Holiday, but my little tree, the smaller size tree of this one, is missing. So we will make do without the smaller tree. How's everybody else's weather while I get this open?
It was windy here. It's been really windy. We've had up to 80-mile-per-hour wind the last day.
Oh,
it was
wow.
insane, with heavy rain that sounded like hail pelting against the windows. Furniture flying everywhere, like yard furniture, Christmas decorations all over the neighborhood. It's been a little wild here, but today was beautiful. And you could go without a coat or a light jacket. But yeah, otherwise, no snow here in Colorado. It's kind of strange.
No snow here. We were in the 60s today. That's what caused our crazy weather last weekend when the tornadoes came through. Is we got up into the 70s, and it got warmer throughout the day and throughout the night, and that's what caused the tornadoes. The warmer weather coming in, and then the cold front pushing that warm weather in, and so it was crazy. Like I said, I have not even looked at this. So this is some great paper. If you have not seen, let me get let's see my light.
It's a gorgeous kit. I really like it as well. I like the color combination. My favorite page is the ornament sheet of paper.
The ornament one. And there it is. A nice plaid. What is this? Holly? Yeah. Holly and green. There's the ornament. Yeah. I like that one. Words are always good, especially two-tone words that you can kind of use as a backing. Birds and poinsettias. And then our background papers. We have green, a cream, a red. What's that? I don't know what color I would call that one. It's not a.
The green one?
A faded teal. Well, it's not the green. It's on the back side of the red. I don't know what color. That's a kind of an in-between color. There's light blue and dark blue. And the green has the cream on the back. And this is kind of just like a faded green color. But there's the you can see the two greens, I guess we'll call it green. Okay, so
Decisions. What are you going to use for your background? Are you doing a 2-page layout, Brandy?
yes,
Okay,
2 pages.
Follow that sketch with 2 pages.
Yes, these two, and it'll be page 98 and 99 for the year. My goal is 100. So after I get off here and finish this tonight, I have 1 page left to meet my goal for the year.
Wow.
I looked it up before I came. I knew I was close. This is 98 and 99. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to substitute. I know some of you or some people are die hard and that you have to do it exactly the way the sketch is. Feel free to do so. You do not have to do anything that I'm going to do, but I plan to use the new borders that are in here called Peace at the bottom. Instead of using this one calls for Paisley Place, I'm going to use Peace on the bottom of mine. And I'm going to see and lay it out here in a minute once I choose my background papers, if I can keep my 4x6 photos, because I would love to keep them, even though this one calls 4x4. I'm all the time. Sometimes I do just like the sketch says, and sometimes I do something completely different. But this is what I'm going for, is across the page. And this one actually shows 6 photos. If I was to use all of these, I have 5 vertical ones, or actually 4 vertical, 1 horizontal. And then I printed out a bunch of close-ups of the ornaments which I have 7 of those printed. One has a student in it pointing to her. So I'm going to use some of the smaller ones up here at the top is what my plan is, but I always like you guys to fill in and give me suggestions. So be sure that you feel free to comment, and Leslie can tell me, and Leslie can be my moderator. I've joked around last time I was on here live. She tells me, just put it down, Brandy, just go with it, put it down. So she's
And don't be
live tonight
surprised if I tell you to put it down.
Yeah, she's here to crack the whip and make me put it down and go with it. So
Brandy, can I ask a question really quick?
Sure.
Can you tell us what you use to print your photos with, so you can make those small collages of photos onto one 4x6?
Yes, I have a selfie, an old selfie. They have more modern versions than mine now. I've had mine for several years. So I printed all of these on my selfie printer it's a Canon selfie. And on their app, you can go in and print. You can do 2 up, 4 up, 8 up, all on a single photo. So I didn't have to use any special software other than just the Canon selfie app, which is really nice. But there are apps out there that you can use if you don't have that one. Is there anybody have any questions or suggestions before we get started? We'll move this back out of the way.
Looks like we still have people jumping on. Hey, everybody's saying hi.
Hey, Trisha, another Kiwi Lane instructor. Let's see. I only see on my iPad. I'm only seeing the last comment. So,
and I've also added in the comments in case people want to know that Brandy is using the sketchbook, and she's using the top sketch on page 21. If you want to follow along and craft with her, feel free to do that. And then share what you create with us afterwards. That would be awesome in the comments.
I'm trying to decide. There's one solid red with the words. And I'm almost thinking the red background because it pulls out the ceiling colors. Of course, we got a red picnic table.
Well, what pattern papers do you think you'll use? I always have to check out the patterns too.
Well, of course, there's a lot of what I call like fillers kind of papers. I don't know if I'll use the plaid or not, or the cream. Oh, I could use the lantern, but it's cute, but there's no lantern in my photos, and but I do have ornaments, and see, the red would look good with that. I like the words, but that's red on red unless I do something with that later. And then I have all the B sides, the back sides, the fillers that I could use. So this is going to be my main busy pattern one, is the Christmas ornaments. But like, there's not, other than that red pattern, if I use the green, the shades of green are different than my photos.
Hey, Brandy, I'm just wondering if you were to use the red as your background, do you think that takes away from the tree because your eye goes to the other objects in the school building?
True, like the table and the ceiling.
Like if I look at it on the red sheet, I'm kind of looking past the tree because my eye's going to the ceiling up there.
Okay,
so I
so you
wonder
like the
if
green?
you tone, maybe if you tone it to a different color, that might not pop as much, and then maybe the tree would stand out a little bit more once you put the other patterns on top of the background there.
Okay, so good idea. So which green do you like?
Kelly's saying red. But does anybody else think that maybe they're also seeing, when you look at the photo on the red paper, that you're not really looking at the tree, and your eye is kind of being drawn into the other red architecture around the tree? Let's take a poll on this and see if it's just me. Okay, Leslie Meek, she also likes the light green. Okay, I'm just thinking, like, I'm looking at it on the screen here, and my eye goes directly to that ceiling, Brandy, and the table. I like the red. I think you could use small punches of it, especially in your accessories, for sure.
Well, and what I can do still is I like the one with the words. I can always use that green and use the red with the words. So that's doable too. Kay agrees with you.
Light green. Okay, we're getting some more light green. Kay says she agrees. Okay. Kelly's suggesting to do a matte around your photo. Kelly, do you think she should do what color around her photo? She hasn't answered yet. Okay, well, it looks like a lot of people
because technically it's kind of like a matte on here. If you look above it, there is a line above and below it.
Right.
So I mean, you could do the red, because if I'm going to do trees up here instead of these buildings, I mean, I can do patterned trees. Or if I want them more realistic, use the shades of green that I have. For the trees up here, the green trees would show on the red background, but I could have the green mat going across there, so to speak.
So were you going to put trees up there, Brandy? Is that what you were thinking, where the houses are?
So trees there and a sleigh or the truck here is what I'm thinking.
What if you put your photos onto the blue background, one of the blue shades? That way it still allows for you to have the green trees, and then maybe you can border with some of the red somewhere.
There's the dark blue.
And I'm looking through the patterns myself here.
The light blue makes me look at the floor.
Like, okay, so that's
see the blue. The dark blue makes me see the blue going around the ceiling, because see, our colors, our school colors are red, white, and blue. We're the Patriots.
Oh, that's funny. I just want to make sure that you're able to use green up in your accessories there. So we definitely don't want to use all the green in the background.
Right.
I see there's 2 shades of green in this kit. There's a really soft green, and then there's the darker green, but that is the ornament side, B side there.
And they're different than the green background.
You could implement a couple different shades of green when you do your trees.
Decisions. Kelly, do the.
Let's see. You could do the light green for the mat, Kelly is thinking. And no more comments in regards to, everybody's just saying the light or the green for the background still.
Vicky, I'm scrolling up. Vicky says you can enlarge your pics and crop in. I could. I could crop those in, but like this one, the tree looking up at the tree, so it fills the whole thing. That one, I used this one to show the height, because when you look at this, that could be a normal old Christmas tree. So this one I'm showing from a distance so that you can see how massive this tree is. Like we had to we had somebody let us borrow a lift, and the choir teacher had to use this lift to go up the tree to actually decorate it and put the bow and everything on top that my friend Cindy made. So I don't really want to crop it, just so that it's showing the, how huge and massive this tree is, because that's 20 feet. And here, looking at that, to me, that doesn't say that's a 20-foot gigantic tree. Does it to you?
Yeah, and Trisha is also saying she likes the red or the dark blue for the background. And then we have a couple more comments definitely saying that the red makes their eye go to the red in your photo towards the ceiling there. I say either the blue, or try to do a combination of the blue and the green, but don't take away from what you're going to put up at the top with your trees.
I'm thinking I might go the green, because the blue brings out, there's blue in the background of these pictures. See, look, you've got the blue stripe going around the ceiling and the blue in the floor. And so to me, the same thing as the red, it's pulling the blue out of the picture. My eyes are on the tree.
Isn't that funny how our eyes work like that? It like zooms in on one color and that's all we're focused on.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the red and the blue is out.
Go with one of those. Okay.
Because
green it is?
Green it is, just because the let me get this out of the way. Oh, and I looked at this one because it was on top. Let me get these out. See what's in here. A December to remember, which of course with COVID and all the stuff going on and the tree donated and school and everything else, it's any December is a December to remember. So that would be cute as the card. If you look back at the sketch behind the United States, which I'm going to have either the truck or the sleigh is what I'm thinking there, one or the other, with trees in the back. So I can put trees in the sleigh and that would be cute. Or if I wanted to do the truck with the tree sticking out of it, either way. So I haven't used my farmstead yet. So I thought this would be cute. But there's the sleigh too. But either way, there's a card or a square sticking up out of that. So this could be behind there or somewhere up there with the sleigh or the truck. I don't know. I'll have to play with that. But that's where my thinking is going. Trees, sleigh or truck, trees here. I did get out an ornament. I got out the little, where's it at? The gingerbread, which is also new. Gingerbread 1, which is like the little peppermint, the candy. There's gingerbread 8, so you can do those types of things on it. Because some of the Christmas ornaments, I don't know that they show in the picture, the kids have done something like that with it. So that pulled out a bunch of trees. So,
there's candy in the haunted set as well. If you're wanting some like different candy to add to the gingerbread one already, but just, to let everybody know there's other candy too.
Yeah, I don't ever think about
kind of like the card that says it's the most wonderful time of year. That would be really cute as well on your layout.
It would be cute, like in the Christmas ornament.
Oh yeah, that I think it would fit really nice.
Pulled out one of the ornaments. I don't think I grabbed both, but there's Joy. It might be too, yeah, it's too tall to fit on there. If it's printed the other way, I could have done it. I could get out the other ornament and see if it fits. That's kind of cute. Magic and dreams, nah. But see, I like to use a lot of these. Like some of this stuff I might not ever use, but they're good about having the back side as solids too. So in here, notice I've got some more greens. There's another green that I could use, 2 more shades of green, that if I wanted to use them for trees to get all different patterns. Oh, as they go flying out.
Yeah, I like that feature as well. So if you're not going to use the journaling card or the little saying on it, I love that you don't have to cut into your big 12 by 12 paper. that you have the little smaller sheets that you can cut into and make your accessories with. And I love that.
Yeah, Cassandra, this is my last day. We got out at lunch today. So I come home and I've kind of lazed around. So, but I've been brave. I crop anytime after a normal day of school. So the last day is even better. We didn't have students. I didn't have a single student all day or the half day that I was there because today was a makeup day. And so like my son and everybody else was at home. Our middle school students were there on the other part of the building, but we had there were about 20 high school students there doing makeup work. So,
oh, wow. My boys had school today. They had finals, the last of them. They were so excited to get it done.
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wow.
I'm going to use those. Wednesday, they had third and fourth block. And then yesterday, they had first and second, and they got to leave at lunch. So I always throw a poinsettia on there in the red. I'll lay that out just in case.
Oh, yeah, that would be pretty.
I don't know that I'll use the candle or the bird. Okay. Now that I have a lot of templates everywhere.
You need your little kiwi.
It's right here.
So you don't lose those, Brandy.
Oh, look, I've got a tray right here. And look at all the pictures and everything in it. I can
take that out. Take
pictures,
that stuff out
cards.
of there.
Well, the one card's here. There's some pictures on my scrapbook of my son for his birthday. Old photos are in here. So it tends to be a catch-all. It starts out as templates and then goes haywire. So, all that out of the way since Leslie wants it. There you go. It is now empty. Set the photos up there. There's the card.
Oops, not a lot.
Who has snow? I know my friend Carolyn up in California on Mountain Club or something like that has snow. And Kelly, did you get snow? I know some parts of Canada have snow.
I know it's odd. It's so weird that we don't have snow yet, but it's coming. I know it's just a matter of time. You can see the snow in Colorado on the mountains, but not in
snow. I love snow.
And see, I'm the opposite. I like it on Christmas. It's pretty to look at, but I really don't like driving in it. I just dread driving in the snow. I just stay inside.
Hey, Joyce has just joined us. Hey, Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Okay. So if I keep this, remember I am going to try and keep, let me put those cards up here too. I am going to try and keep these. I might have to trim some off, but I really don't want to, as 4x6 photos going across. And the border isn't as thick as that paisley place by using the one that come with it. So if I do, I don't have to use all of these photos. I just printed. I know I want this one close up, that one, and at least one of these two that show two different sides of the tree. In our CDC classroom, like special needs, I guess, for those non-educators, they got some coordination type practice, and they actually wrapped empty boxes and put them under the tree. So this was a full, lots of students helped and put it together and made ornaments and made the chains and stuff to put on it. So it's kind of a group effort, and it's the first time we've had a big tree like that sets in it's called our commons area. So I was kind of excited and very proud of all the work. I was in charge of the ornaments. So let's see, farther away, and close up if we get smaller to bigger.
So Brandy, how many photos are you putting across? Just the 4 that you have there?
Maybe. I have 7 small ones to cut apart. And then I have this one that is a horizontal one that I could add. This was a very pretty one. I come down, just to give you the backstory, after we had decorated it during my planning, and I come downstairs and I knew some parents were bringing ornaments to donate and stuff. And I was like, oh, somebody has donated some really, really fancy ornaments. And you can see some of them there. There's 3 of them. And I'm like, wow, those are so cool. I wonder where they are. And I can't believe somebody's donated these fancy ornaments because they had to cost some money. And one of my students, I'm oohing and on over them. And one of my students that was with me, she's like, Miss Baucom, that says Art 3 on them and it's got a student's name. I was like, oh, even better. So students made this, and this is one of them. She come up when the bell rang at 3:00 and she's pointing, she's like, that's my ornament. And she was excited to tell everybody that that was her ornament, which is the one that I really love, that I took a picture of here and there. So I don't know if I'm going to put it, because this has just a lot of green over here. So it's like, this was just when we were starting to decorate, and I come back down to finish and that ornament was there, but I don't know. So to me, that's distracting, having the big blob of green there. But
I was looking through the cards to see if there was a vertical card that you could, like, use as a placeholder as well, where one of your vertical photos would be, but
put that over there, a December to remember.
going the wrong direction. Yeah.
And so it could be something along those lines. And then see, Karen has joined us. Hey, Karen. Karen's one of my buddies. Oh, let the big one hand down, I think. So y'all will hear me coughing and clearing my throat. I'm going to an allergy doctor. Not that you need to know this, but so you know I'm not like sick. And so I have to be off my allergy medicine because I hadn't seen a doctor in 6 years. So they're going to retest me Tuesday. So I have to be off all my allergy medicine. So I am eyes watering, drainage, all that good stuff. So let's see. This is just, if you are new, because I know somebody commented that they just gotten their first kid, and somebody else commented that they were going to join us for the first time. If you don't understand, I know a lot of you are oldies like myself, that have been around a while, but some people are newer. If you don't understand the concept of playing to create, where they got that name, it lets you lay the templates out so that you can try to visualize what it's going to look like and see if it's going to work. Oh.
Brandy, just for the fun of it, that big tree you have there in your hand that you said you couldn't find the small version of, what if you were to tuck that by your last 4x6 photo, like tuck it under behind it?
This one?
Yes. So flip it the other way. Okay, go back over by the small photos. Where you have your December card?
Mm-hmm. Like
and then
that?
You have, no. Okay, come down and then flip it the other direction.
So it's
and
not
tuck it underneath on that page, the 4x6.
like that.
Now slide it underneath there.
Is it going to the top?
But you would remove that little picture. So take out your picture that's in the middle of on that page that you just put that on. Slide the tree down. The big tree.
Yeah. Remember, there's delayed. I'm moving.
Yeah.
What you're saying. I'm hearing you live, but you're seeing my delayed.
And then that, I think that if that's that might be kind of cute, tucked up underneath that photo right there. And then you could tuck in another accessory or something, like maybe the sleigh could go down there with the card inside it. Yeah. something like that. I think that's cute. And then you can continue to do like your cute little trees up on top that you were working on. I think that kind of just the big tree on the other side. I just really like it over there. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments what you think so far. Brandy's using this sketch again on page 21 on the top, and it's from the new Scrapbooking Sketches Kiwi Lane book that just came out in the latest release in November. So if you haven't picked one of these up yet, there's some great ideas in here, especially like Brandy was mentioning, if you're new to Kiwi Lane and you're just getting started and you're not quite sure where to start, there's some great sketches in here and actual layouts in here that you can look at and get an idea of how to lay things out with your templates. That's what I love about the templates too, is, you know, when you buy that perfect piece of paper and then you cut into it and you're like, oh no, you cut it wrong, or you didn't want to cut it that way and you laid it on your layout and it looks terrible. Well, the templates really help eliminate anything like that, because you can see everything before you actually cut your pretty pattern paper. That's what I love about them. Saves on mistakes of cutting on your paper.
Cutting while Leslie's talking. That's the good thing about having someone on here with me while you're not just necessarily watching me boringly cut photos here. We have Leslie, and you have somebody else that can give you knowledge as well. And it, like I said, I like it because I'm not just talking to myself. Cutting all these little ones apart so that I can play to create some more. Okay, out of the way for now. And these are all vertical, and I think one horizontal too. The little girl, I don't even know her name. It's on the ornament, but okay. And so if you look back at the sketch, it has the trees. Well, it has houses up there, the buildings. I'm gonna have trees going across like this, and then I can tuck some photos in. So I don't know. My photos are tall though. I could have, make sure these are in the right direction. Let's see. Then that far away kind of loses the perspective of these cool ornaments that the students made. We also, I have 7, but one is horizontal. I always tuck that in over here or something. I don't know. I've got to play with that. Y'all have any ideas on where to put these 7 photos? I could stack them.
What if you tuck the 2 that are going the different direction down up the bottom of the tree by the sleigh?
There's only one going a different
there's
direction.
just one.
Yeah. The others are all horizontal, I think.
And you could kind of overlap it over your vertical photo there, and you could take away from that table if you do that.
Yeah, but with the mats, that photo matted. It doesn't, and the tree is filling up so much, it kind of looks funny. Hey, Gwen. Okay, so I've got trees, and I can duplicate more of the trees. The trees I have up there are Wonderland 9, Wonderland 9, Seasons 10, Pine a la carte, and Rejoice a la carte. This is Retired Winter 3 and Sleigh a la carte. And then this is from this month's Kiwi Club Kit. So I don't know. I don't like those 2 laying to cover the table because it looks like I've deliberately put them there to cover the table.
Yeah, I'm not liking them there either.
Let's see. Trisha says, what's she saying? I can't see for the.
You could use some of the small photos as gifts and back them with a print and add a bow. That's a good idea. Kind of make them a present.
Like stack them all in the sleigh. That's a cool idea. That's why I like doing these. I get cool ideas. I always put that up there. Kind of built a wall though. These are the two horizontal ones. And all thumbs. Oh, I'm making a mess. It's a good thing though, when planning to create, it doesn't matter if you move them. You get to see what's going to work first before you actually cut, like Leslie said. I might end up taking the student off. I mean, I couldn't tell your name. I've never had her in class. Could hide her. But she was so proud. She wanted me to take her picture. She is so proud of her ornament that she made. Have the presents stacked to the ceiling like the sleigh is overflowing. Let me move those two first. And there's that. Well, I'm all thumbs tonight, which is normal. We'll do what Trisha says. I can always mat them and add bows, but.
And Leslie is saying, hey, Sandy. Leslie Meek is saying, what if you use a few more of these small trees and bunch them together, similar to the buildings in the sketches? Are you talking about, Leslie, on the page that Brandy just kind of has the small trees sitting on right now?
I plan to do more trees up here. I just only have those 4. I'm going to duplicate.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming too. You just have to trace a couple.
Because originally before, who was it, Trisha, that said that about putting the pictures as gifts in the sleigh? I thought about putting trees in the sleigh over here, but the sketch has trees up here around the card, but we have the one big tree, which I could make taller as I'm tracing and move it up to get it tall enough to be up top. I don't know. What do y'all think? I could have lots of trees up here. I could always, add in an ornament or something. Of course, the ornament to me makes no sense because that ornament's bigger than the trees. If it's going to be there. Of course, that poinsettia is out of proportion as well because it's far larger than the trees. And I'm thinking the poinsettia could be put down on the border at the bottom like that. Add a focal point there to kind of cover up just some of that empty floor. Sandy says something.
Sandy is saying use the large ornament from Christmas in the sleigh and just make the top wavy to look like his sack of toys.
Instead of pictures.
The large ornament, she's saying to take that template and put it inside of the sleigh so it kind of looks like Santa's sack. That ornament, I think that you have up there on your Caterpillar mat.
Well, that isn't the one, didn't she say? What set did she say from Christmas? That isn't the one from Christmas. That's the a la carte one.
Yeah, she hasn't.
These ones, the massive ones.
From Christmas. Yeah,
the one from Christmas is the Big Daddy.
Ooh,
it's that one.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So yeah,
I do like that one. It is a cute one. Okay, Kelly suggests cut a smaller poinsettia basically out of the middle. So the poinsettia, the poinsettia template, she's suggesting just like make,
Oh, to double layer, yeah.
so this inner part of it, just use that instead of the outer where it's bigger. So that way it's more proportioned
Oh, for up top.
on the poinsettia. I think towards the
That
bottom of
ornament
the tree.
so huge compared to that.
Yeah, I think that's too big.
I can see what she's saying. It's a cool idea to make that as like his bag of toys kind of thing. But the pictures, even as a mat, the pictures aren't, which I don't have to use all of these. I mean, I could just use, if I wanted to, the 3 individual student ornaments that they made in less than 30 minutes, might I add. The art teacher and the students were very proud that they come up with something that quick. But see, then you don't have enough to really fill it either. So I don't know.
Trisha's saying she likes the pictures that were in the sleigh as the gifts. And then she's also saying add a bunch of trees along the top and that will look really cute. I agree. I like that as well. I think once you add, like if you were to add a little bow to each of the photos to, you know, make them look like little presents, that would be cute. Like maybe some twine, you could just do a little twine.
We have the bow that's on gingerbread.
Oh yeah, you could cut that out of the red paper to do that little pop of red.
Mm-hmm. And then if we wanted to put like even a little zigzag across the top of the gift, if we're going to mat, because she had mentioned matting the photos, there's lots of ideas there you could do. And then we could tuck some of the gingerbread candy in around the pictures, you know, it's kind of a filler because they, you know, are not going to be, you know, see what I'm saying, as far as, because the pictures are rectangular and the sleigh is curved, so they're not going to fit in there perfectly. But then you can take candy,
yeah, like as filler,
yeah, as a filler kind of thing, and kind of layer some candy pieces in there to kind of fill it up. Or I can put some more of these in there too. That's a thought. Until I am off my allergy medicine. My hands are itching. Okay.
Sandy also said, what about hanging the ornaments and put the pictures inside of the ornaments? Or do you want to do ornaments or trees or combination?
Over here with the pictures and the ornament. Well, that's true. That would be, get rid of the sleigh and have ornaments hanging over here. That would be kind of cool. That's a thought. Man, y'all are coming up with good ideas. That's why I love doing the lives.
I think either idea I think is cute.
If they like, if the ornaments are hanging at different, I wish I knew I had more ornaments, but you know, imagine the joy ornament, and I can get out the other one. And it's hanging at different levels. Like if let's say I did 4. Which way is that one?
And you could hand stitch the line that they'd be hanging from. That would be super cute.
Let's see how you could have 4 different ornaments there.
Mm-hmm.
That's an idea. Kind of like that. That's an easy mat.
I like how that really incorporates the fact that you are scrapbooking about this tree and the ornaments that the kids have made. I think that kind of ties it in a little bit better than them sitting in the sleigh, though I really like the sleigh present idea. But I feel like this to me represents more of the layout with the tree and the ornaments.
I do. I like that.
And then, yeah, if you have the other shapes, and you could do a couple different shapes of the ornaments. And then, like I said, you could hand stitch or just glue some twine on as well. You could do that.
Very good. Very good.
Heather says she likes that idea. Yay.
Okay, so we know the trees can be shades of green, or I can use other patterns. Let me get Christmas out of the way here. And do we want, okay, y'all help me out. What's the other ornaments? This is Joy. What's the other one? What's it called?
There's an ornament in Tiny Holiday. That's what Sandy's saying. I gotta pull mine out.
Isn't there another a la carte ornament?
We have for Christmas. I gotta pull mine out here.
Sandy can probably call it off, or Trisha, or anybody.
There's an a la carte ornament, and then there's the Joy a la carte ornament.
The Joy.
And we also have, let's see. There's a light bulb that I guess you could use in the Tiny Traditions. If you wanted to turn that into an ornament. There's also the Traditions bell, which would be kind of cute hanging down as an ornament.
Here's my disgrace, y'all. All of my a la cartes are piled together. I've shown y'all this before, so this is not new to many of you. But when I want a la cartes, instead of there it is, instead of having to go somewhere and think about where it is, I can pull them right out because they're all together. Because there are so many a la cartes at the Kiwi Club. So there's that. And you said there's one in Tiny Holiday?
Yes, I believe.
That way we could get 3 different ornaments going, maybe instead of, or I can reuse one of them.
And you could always do just a circle shape as well, if you didn't want to have a fancy shape. Joy, a la carte ornament.
Yeah, there's the round one, and Tiny Holiday is round. But they're smaller, that's the only thing. I might have to do 3 different Joy ones just because it's big enough to fit the vertical photos in. Unless I trim them down, because Holiday, Tiny Holiday is smaller. I would have to trim the photo down. And Ornament a la carte is wider and not taller. So I would like the idea of 3 different ornaments, but I don't think without having to trim them and make the pictures different sizes. So I might do 3 of the same ones just because I don't want to trim the pictures, because like some of them are at the very top. Okay.
And you know what you could do, and if you don't want to use the poinsettia, you could tilt an ornament over there, like a larger one you could just add over there, and maybe use one of the cards with the saying on it and cut the shape out of the card.
That's true.
Like the Merry, Joyful, Believe. That's a cute one. I think that would be a cute little ornament. And it's a touch of blue.
I'll let go.
Yeah.
The 3 words. And use somewhere in here. Or of course, there's it's the most wonderful time of year. If you did, of course, that pulling in, if I use 3 ornaments over there, this would pull in a different one. But that would fit pretty much. Yeah, a little bit of the Y would be cut off, but that would fit in the ornament a la carte, so it would fit in the holiday one.
And that's the other thing I really like about the templates, like Brandy's showing you right now, is you can see through them. And so you can actually see exactly the placement with journaling cards like this. So you can trace around it. And sometimes, like she was saying, maybe a little bit may hang over, but what I tend to do is I'll just shift my template a little bit as I'm tracing around it. And then I'll shift it back when I go to the other side. That way I get the perfect fit. If it's just a little slightly off. But yeah, I like that idea of like kind of carrying an ornament onto the other side there.
It doesn't need to be the same one.
I don't think so.
Because say the Merry, Joyful, and Believe fits almost exactly in there. So it could be a round one sitting over there.
I was going to say, try the round one.
It could be the poinsettia. It could be layered instead of having to do all the details of the
Yeah,
poinsettia.
that's the exact one I was about ready to grab, the round one. I think that one's perfect. I think it's okay to have all different shapes and sizes of the ornaments. Okay. Let's see, what is Kay saying here? You can make the tiny ornaments a little bit bigger for the small vertical photos. Yep, like I was saying, you totally can adjust your templates in most cases to fit around what you're working with.
Okay, so thinking of the borders at the bottom, we've got green on the back. Where do we want our busiest pattern? Of course, it could be the big tree. The ornaments are going to be covered pretty much, and it would be too busy with that busy tree background. We could do the borders or the tree, the big tree here from winter, or the borders. What do y'all think?
I'm kind of leaning towards the border.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I mean, like we've been stating, you can adjust your border if you need to make it a little bit wider to accommodate more of the pattern. But I think that would just tie it all together. What are you guys thinking? Leave us a comment. Do you think Brandy should use the ornament paper for the borders, for the big tree? What are you thinking?
Big tree is the words.
Trisha is saying the big tree. Vicky says the borders.
Of course. Split.
If you use the ornament paper as the borders, what would you use for the big tree, Brandy? A shade of green?
Well,
the
that a shade of green, because I have lots of green going, and it would tie the green from the small trees to this page for the big tree. But I've also got the red.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you could do something like the back side of the red words is like the blue with the green in it. I don't like that on the green background.
Kelly says borders. Kay is saying the big tree. Leslie is saying borders. Deb is saying borders. So it looks like the majority vote so far is to use it on border.
Okay. We can do either shades of green for the tree, or we can do, oh, knocking everything out of the way. We can do the red words. We can do the busy pattern, which I don't think I like, the birds and the poinsettias, or you can do the plaid. I think I like, because it's going to be right here with the busy ornaments. I'm thinking the red words because of the busyness of the photos and the busyness. If the borders are going to be the ornaments, I think we need the red to kind of offset all the busyness that's going all over the page.
I think too, it'd be really cute if you to add just a touch of the red as well with your string on the ornaments. You could add the red in there as well.
Yeah, I could add the cap on the ornaments on top of Joy a la carte. The cap that's up here, I could cut that out as the red words, depending on what I cut the paper in. Okay, so.
All right, so majority is saying ornaments for the borders and red words for the tree.
Okay.
All right, so I think we got a good plan here.
And it's gonna match up.
Diana, let's see. So all the little trees that you're seeing on top of Brandy's layout there, she is going to be cutting multiples of those in various different colors of green. And she's going to be placing them above those 3 large photos you see on that page. And
Well,
what she's
using, I think what they are. They're Wonderland, yeah. Seasons, Pine a la carte, and Rejoice a la carte. So Seasons, this is Tiny Seasons. It's one of the newer ones that's come out. So you can still get that one. Pine a la carte is still available. Wonderland and the Rejoice. Wonderland is a Kiwi Club kit. Is Rejoice a Kiwi Club kit? I can't remember. Somebody else on here could answer that. I could look it
I
up.
believe so. I believe you're correct on that.
It's either a Kiwi Club or it come in like one of the frame kits, one or the other. I can't remember.
Oh,
We have plenty
the
of
Tulip
knowledgeable.
Star came in the DIY for a frame.
Trisha, I was just thinking about that too. She's saying that the borders are too thin. I was thinking, should I just trace the top of it and have the whole bottom part be the border and not cut out the bottom side? So that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that this green wouldn't be showing here. That would be all paper of the ornaments.
Yeah, I
What
think
about
you
the
could
big tree
do.
template under the picture? That is winter. That is a retired one. I couldn't find my smaller one that I wanted to use to put up here to double it, because these are half ones that you can trace one side of, like I'm going to do here, or you can trace one side and trace the other to get a full one. But I could trace a full one partially up there to make it not look funny. Let me. And when you're tracing,
Trisha still is agreeing that she feels it needs to be wider. I think that you could totally just do, like you said, trace the one side. I think that would be look really nice.
For those that are new, because like I said, I know we had some new ones join us tonight, or they said they were going to. Wonderland is December 2019. Look at Leslie pulling it out. Leslie Meek. When you're tracing, you have a busier pattern. You can see your pencil mark, but you can also trace on the back side to get the same look. If you're wanting that pointing up, like the way I had it on the page, what you do is you slide it over and slide it to the back, and then flip your paper over so that you're tracing it in the right direction. So I'm going to trace that here, and I'm only going to trace the top. And then once I get it on the page and I decide I want it skinny, if I do decide that, I can always come back. This would be one piece, and I'll always come back and lay it back on there and trace the bottom and cut it out. But so that was that one.
Hey,
And
Linda. Linda's joining us now.
hey, Linda. And let me cut off the
And Leslie said the app saved her. I like using the app too. It's quite quick and it's pretty handy to have if you just need to look up a template really quick. So yeah, those of you who are new, if you don't know, Kiwi Lane does have an app where you can go in and you can check mark off all of the templates that you own. And I think you can also make a wish list as well. That way you can keep track of what you have and you don't buy doubles accidentally.
You get the excitement of watching me cut.
Kay is saying that she likes the idea of the darker green pattern for the big tree with some of the small trees as well. But did we decide we were going to do the red words on the tree?
I don't know. I'm gonna get this ornaments on there, and then sometimes I change my mind once I see how busy. We can take a look at it then.
Is everyone done with their Christmas shopping, holiday shopping? I know I still have a few items yet to get before I can say I'm completely done. Any Christmas baking anybody doing lately? spending time in the kitchen, maybe making some gingerbread houses, sugar cookies. Let us know in the comments if you have a traditional baked good that you make every single holiday. Linda's all done, Lucky.
I'm technically done. I got my father-in-law needs something else, but my husband naysays anything I suggest. I told him it's up to him to get him something to finish off.
Hello, those who are joining us, welcome. Brandy is just starting to cut into her pattern papers. As you can see, she has all her templates on the layout, so she knows what she's going to be doing. Ooh,
I am trimming this
balls.
off to get a bottom border solid because of the way the pattern goes, so that I can trace off the bottom again and make it match this one.
Linda, I also do cinnamon rolls from scratch on Christmas morning. It has been a tradition as long as I can remember, and my kids would be devastated if I did not make homemade cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning. I think a few of my neighbors might be too.
I have never made homemade cinnamon rolls. Well, I take that back. I think I did.
A lot of work, but worth it, Brandy.
I imagine I could eat plenty of homemade cinnamon rolls, but.
So Vicky is asking, what is the difference in the Kiwi Lane app and the checklist? So I'm not sure what she means by the checklist. There's a difference in
the old checklist that we had hadn't been updated, if that's what she's talking about. But I don't know.
You know, most the app gets updated. Is it every time there's a new release? Is that when it happens?
The app, they only update like every couple of months because it's such a pain. That's my wording, not theirs. But I don't think they update it every single month.
Right.
I could be wrong.
I think it's pretty close to maybe when there's a new release. I suggest to everyone to, if you can get the app on your phone, it's a great way to just track what you own because it's so easy. You can just go in and check mark everything that you own and it's right there. So if you forget, you might have a template set and you're about to purchase one and you're not sure, you can go in your app and just double check. That way you don't have to dig through all your templates to find if you have that particular set. You've already check marked it in the app. It's really easy and simple to use. And like if you're trying to figure out, like Brandy was talking about the different trees she has up on her layout there, where they come from, what are their names, you can just go in and kind of scroll really quickly through the accessories. Or, if they came in one of the monthly kits, you can just look really quick and see it. And then you'll like, oh yeah, that came out of the December, 2019 kit. So you'll know. Vicky says her checklist is current through November 2021. Vicky, do you make your own checklist on your computer? I know a lot of people like to have a physical copy printed that they can also check off. And I know a lot of people make their own lists like that.
Well, it's going to bug me with the border.
Are you keeping the border?
Well, the pictures are square, but I want to keep the whole picture. But the designer in me wants to tuck them behind the border so that they are tucked in. But if I do that, it's
taking away from the photo.
Part of that full picture or part of the gifts that the kids wrapped.
What if you pop up the center one? You know what I mean? Lift that one up in the center and then have the other two kind of down. So it's kind of like you can see the presents a little bit and kind of pop the center one up just a little bit.
On top of the border?
No, just slide it up, I think. And you could mat just that one in another pattern to kind of pop it, since it's like going to be if you do a different height, where that one's kind of, you know, like your eye is drawn to that and you see the presents under the tree. And then you could have the background tucked underneath the pattern that way. Does that make sense?
Or Sandy suggestion putting it to the top and having the trees, I guess, go across the bottom.
Oh yeah, flip-flopping your border, possibly.
But the border is already cut and the ornaments would then be upside down.
Ah, yep, that you do have to watch with directional pattern paper.
Yep. Which I have one that's the opposite of that one. And I could cut the other one off. So technically I could still do it because I have the negatives of either one of those. And then instead of having the row of trees at the top, I could put the row of trees at the bottom. I kind of
Do you
like
think having the border though at the top might take away from the hanging ornament photos?
Yes.
That's what I think.
I'm not liking I like the idea of it at the top, but I also don't like it because then my eyes for some reason focus on that. Here they're focusing on the tree still. And this is an added effect. Up here, to me, my eyes focus on that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of liking it just the way the border is at the bottom. I think you might have to compromise a little bit of like either the photo being covered a tiny bit, or you're just gonna have to adjust it a little bit. You know, you could also do a double border, Brandy, of a solid to raise, you know what I mean, behind the ornament. Like if you did the red there on underneath tucked, but the same exact border with just that highlight that would be showing just a tiny bit of red.
Or on the ornaments over here with the pictures?
The bottom border.
Oh, the bottom border. And
yeah,
you said
you know
ornaments. My mind went up here, not.
Sorry, the ornament paper. Yeah, you know how like you can just have that little shadow of color. You could do that as well if you wanted to cut 2 more pieces of like another color and just have it layered underneath where you have the actual shape of the template.
Soften the photos around because this one we can cover the floor and it'd be no big deal. This one is a close-up of just the tree without the presents under it. So then that way, if it's over here.
Some people are suggesting to reprint your pictures smaller if you don't want, you know, so you can see a little bit more so they're not covered under the border. Another person suggesting maybe swap one tree photo with the picture on the other page.
I did.
Oh,
great minds think alike.
There you go.
So now I've got the close up over here. In all honesty, I'm overall not liking the ornament border on this page.
You're what?
Not liking the ornament border.
You're not loving it, huh?
No, it's too busy. The tree is already busy as it is.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying maybe take another, like a solid from the collection and back it behind to break that up from the tree photos.
Right, but what, you know, I mean, I could use a red. Like I've got the red words. We talked about doing the red words on the tree, but if I back this in red and that's red, then you're overlapping red on red.
Well, you'd have to choose a different color for your tree.
If I use the background, I could use the background page. So I'll always use red cardstock later.
What's on the back side of the ornaments? Flip them over once and see if you prefer not seeing green. That busyness. It's green. Okay.
picture that.
So how do you feel about the breaking up if you were to add that red and you actually had the same exact shape and you just had a very thin line of it? Is it still too busy for your eye?
Well,
what do you guys think? Give us some input.
If I didn't do the exact shape of it, but did it like this and just cut that strip, that gives me a straight line for the pictures to sit on.
I call that a shelf.
A what?
I call that as a photo shelf. Your photos have a shelf to sit on.
Yeah.
Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. Our doorbell just rang. My little dog, she's quite loud when she barks.
So y'all like the idea of the shelf? A very thin piece of red right there.
Let us know in the comments if you guys like the little border of red there that the photos would sit on top, or which I call a shelf. Gives a place for the photo to live on top of the shelf right there. I like it. Vicky is saying yes. Okay, so if we get some more comments here.
No, I cut it. So
You're just going.
I'm always
I'm
taking
so
it back
proud of
off.
you.
I'm putting it down. I'm taking your words.
I
Leslie. Just
am
put it
so
down.
proud of you. Just put it down, Brandy. Don't overthink it, right? And you know, the thing is too, like a strip of paper, you can always use that anywhere on your layout. So it's not like you're going to waste it if you end up not liking it. Trisha is saying, yes, she likes the shelf. That way you're not like losing anything out of your photo and you don't have to reprint them smaller that way as well.
Oh, and I don't want to print them any smaller because you can't hardly see the ornaments. I mean, I took a few close-ups of the really cool ornaments that the art class made, but my students made all of these paper ones that say heritage and the soccer ball that's right there. And so if I go smaller, like I can see these, but you guys can't see them. There's a football, there's a soccer ball. My students made those. There's the football, there's the soccer. So I want to still be able to remember back, and like up here on the card, that's where I would say, you know, my students made ornaments, art students, or whatever I end up saying on the journaling.
Yeah,
we threw this together in 2 days. So it was a hodgepodge tree. We had no ornaments, no nothing. And so to come together in 2 days, the tree looks fabulous. So
Brandy, Deetra is saying if you wanted to switch your photo back to the other page where you originally had it, you totally could do that now that we have the red shelf there.
True. Yeah, because see, this leads my eyes out the door over there. That's why I put it over here originally, because the way that's angled, it makes your eyes go that way. And you don't want them going off your page. Okay, so if I did red for the tree, I've still got 2 shades of red. They're different there though, but that's red, lots of red. Or should we do the ornaments in red and do the tree in something else?
I think I'm kind of leaning doing a shade of green for the big tree.
Right, and it would pull in the green from the other side over here.
Yeah, and then maybe use the red for the ornaments.
Yep. We want 3 ornaments. My husband's in there cooking supper until it's about time to eat. This is Joy a la carte, which you can still buy. 1. We'll trace 3. I mean, it's just a mat. I could always change out later and make the ornaments different colors. But I don't want mass chaos going. So I said the pictures are already busy. Let me tell me. The ornament paper is busy, so I want some kind of normalcy without it being way too busy. So there's 3.
Kelly is suggesting that she really likes the green on the back of the ornament paper, possibly to use on the big tree.
The green on the back of what? I'm sorry, I'm cutting.
The ornament paper that's on the border.
Okay.
I like that green as well. I like that shade.
I'll get there in a second. Cutting out ornaments. I'll swap scissors. Do y'all do that? I have lots of pairs. These are both Tim Holtz, but I have favorites. But I don't have one favorite. I have lots of favorites. So it's depending on my mood or what I'm cutting, what scissors I want.
And I thought I was the only one like that.
No, I have different scissors lying around. And I'm getting a different pair of small detail scissors for Christmas. Delivered to my mom today. She's wanting things to put in my stocking. Do y'all still get stockings? My mom still makes all of us a stocking. So this was a small little detailed pair of scissors that someone on Zoom recommended. So I ordered it.
That would be Kelly. And then I got a pair and I loved them too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I can't remember who recommended them, but my husband's fixing homemade pizza. I can smell the crust. Smells good.
Oh, so Linda, the little scissors are they're a very tiny little pair of scissors. They're like a precision.
And they're opposite, like you press them.
Kind of like a tweezer. They kind of remind me of tweezers.
Yeah, they're like the reverse tweezers kind of thing. There's a new thing that everybody said they love. So I got one. I won't get mine till Christmas Eve night. I ordered it.
Let me look and I'll see if I can post in the comments a link for you to check them out.
Oh, but I can't recommend them yet because I haven't used mine. But I like both the Tim Holtz scissors. That's a small pair. We saw this one on Kiwi Lane website. And then I guess I'm picky when it comes to scissors, but it's picky, like I said, based on my mood and what I'm cutting. And sometimes you just need smaller scissors. So
Kelly is asking if you can round the edges of your photos.
with the white border, it wouldn't look right. Would be the only thing.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I could trim the white border off. I printed that. I had my selfie print the white border because I always like it as an easy, already pre-done mat, and then that I can always trim off if I don't like it. I mean, I could trim it off and then round the corners.
Oh, I think she is referring to the little tiny photos that you're going to put inside the ornaments there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Slightly round them, and then they might fit a little better into the ornament.
True. Good idea.
And it looks like a lot of people use the Tim Holtz scissors. And Trisha's favorites are close to my heart scissors. I've never actually used any of their scissors.
I've used some of theirs. They're good. Like I said, I not necessarily found a bad pair of scissors. It's all depending on what I'm cutting and what paper I'm cutting. The paper quality and thickness makes a difference as well. But like even Debbie and Susan and Shiloh, all three like different scissors. from each other. So, I mean, it's common to everybody having their favorite. Okay. Here's this. Good old CM corner rounder. Brought up close to my heart. CM.
But you know, it is nice how we can use all these tools that we have and still play with our Kiwi Lane templates with them. And they all work really well together. That's another bonus to how to use the templates, is they play really well with all scrapbooking tools.
There you go, Kelly. Done.
I like that. Good idea, Kelly.
Sorry, my allergies are killing me. This plastic and stuff. Have y'all ever heard of anybody allergic to plastic? I'm the weird one. And I'm off my allergy medicine to go to the doctor in case y'all weren't here earlier. So I'm reacting to everything at school and here and everywhere. The templates hadn't caused me. It's this mat that's causing me to itch. Okay. So now just shades of greens for the trees. You could almost. Oh, they're too
Everybody's
big.
liking the round photos in the ornaments. Everybody loves it now.
Oh yeah, see now, Vicki, I have the Fisker spring-loaded ones too. They're not on the table, or are they? I got scissors everywhere. It might be in my tool bag. Here's the old cutter bees laying here. I got scissors everywhere. Somewhere I have the Fiskars one. They must be in my tool bag from the last crop. That's what I use there. So yeah, I don't see the Fiskars at the moment, but yeah, I have those too. Some people collect cutters. I collect scissors. See, if this was a hair smaller, that would be cute to decorate the tree, but it's too big for the tree. I was just thinking the tree will need some ornaments. Okay, so shades of green. We've got Christmas ornament green, and we have this shade of green.
Yeah, I love the dark green.
Yeah. And
There were
officially,
some cards too, Brandy, that have green on the back.
yeah, I laid this one out. The other green on the back is the Merry Joyful Believe. So if I cut that out, I don't know, I might be able to get a small one out of here. I don't know. Maybe. Well. That's going everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I'm not able to get another one out of that. Once I cut that, if I use that ornament over on the other page. Could do a half a tree. Hopefully y'all didn't hear my husband in there talking to the dog.
We did.
Huh?
We heard him. I just heard his voice. I didn't know what he said.
Oh, well, good.
Heather is saying maybe throw in a plaid tree or two.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We've got this like gray green color too. We wanted a dark tree. But let me leave these here for a second. We'll go ahead and put this out. Try to fit it exactly on there.
I'm going to go ahead and add in the link, or in the post, a link down in the comments for those of you who are interested in the little scissors that we've been talking about. These are the pair that I have. I know that Brandy ordered a different pair, but it's very similar. She got hers, I believe, off of Amazon. This is the pair that I've used and I like, so I can recommend them to you. So you can go ahead and check those out if you're interested. They're really great for some of those smaller templates that we have, like tiny plants, you know, all the itty bitty intricacy ones that have the smaller areas that you need to get right into. Those are very helpful. So we just enabled you to get another pair of scissors. Vicky says, in my opinion, the journal card makes the page really visually heavy on the first page. Oh, she's talking about the journaling card up on top there. She thinks it makes that side look heavy. You could take the journaling card, Brandy, and angle it on top of the tree in the photo a little bit towards the bottom where I had kind of suggested maybe putting a photo in the beginning. Yeah, like down there instead. Vicky says yes, exactly. Okay, good. I think it's going to be really cute once you get all those trees cut out in different shades. It's going to be really cute. I like that idea. It's kind of like a little Christmas forest up there.
Thinking of doing this half on one side just so that I get that green in. And then I trace half on that side.
Trisha is asking if you could possibly swap the green background paper out for the blue to see if that would look more pleasing.
Or there is the light blue or the navy blue. Let's see, it's going to pull out this blue, and that's why we didn't use it before, because it's got blue around the tree and the floor and the blue stripe on the wall. That's the only thing. I mean, it makes the ornaments pop.
You could just add sometimes what I like to do is if I'm just missing that extra color that's pleasing to the eye is do another strip, like a small strip of it across the top of your layouts. And that way they kind of flow with your eye. You know what I'm talking about? Like a ½ inch on the top only, coming straight across. Or at the bottom.
Not straight or anything, but that gives you an idea of the blue. It looks nice.
It does look nice.
Yeah, like the green background or the blue. But see, it's a lot of blue now because the blues and the ornaments. There's nothing's glued down or inked or stole.
Lay the dark green paper, Brandy, on top of that blue as if you were cutting the big tree out of that. That's kind of what it would look like if you use the blue. Does that green get lost with the dark blue?
From y'all's angle view, looking up at my iPad, what y'all are seeing, it does.
Yeah, to me it does as well. Trisha is saying go with what you like, but I just don't get any green coming from the ornament paper. Oh, so she's trying to say she's not seeing the background paper pulling from the ornament print. There definitely is. I know when you see the paper up close in person, you can see the green get pulled from the ornament, though it is dominantly blue in the ornament paper with the background. But I feel like once that tree's in place, and once she gets all her little trees cut out, it should pop a little bit more. What do you think, Brandy?
Yeah, I was trying to get it to where they could see it better and move the light. There, it's getting caught up. Now you can kind of see a good representation of it.
That's the other thing I liked is like you really can't go wrong whether you choose the blue background or the green, because this kit was made to go together. All the papers coordinate, they all work within this color scheme. So you really can't go wrong. Sometimes I think that you'll end up with a page that will be gorgeous in the end. It may not look like it when you're starting to piece it all together because you're doing a lot of cutting and nothing's glued down yet. You don't have all those little extra tidbits we like to put, the final finished touches at the end, whether that's buttons, enamel dots, stickles, yarn, twine. Once I think you see it completely done, I think whether you choose blue or green, I think it's going to look fantastic.
They both have their qualities. Looking at it in person, you guys are farther from a distance. So the green doesn't blend as much as you're seeing, but it does blend. So this dark green, which I don't have to use the dark green over here. I could use it over here, but still be.
Marsha says the blue takes away from the pictures. So she's basically saying when she looks at it, the green background makes the tree photos pop versus the blue paper. Which I definitely think I agree with that as well. Kelly says she likes the light green background better with the dark green tree. Brandy?
Yes.
I am noticing that we just ended, the video ended.
Mine's still showing live.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, on the Kiwi Lane Designs page, it just shows me that video has ended. Let me refresh and make sure we're still live for everybody here.
I'm still hearing you and I'm still live. It's showing a minute.
Okay.
An hour and 37.
Yep, there we are. Must have been a glitch on my side. Just wanted to make sure.
Don't stress me out, Leslie.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I was like, why is the video saying it just ended? But I can hear you.
No problem, Trisha. That's why I like doing these. I've told y'all that before. I like seeing y'all's ideas and what y'all come up with.
That's what this is all about, right? Playing, trying to figure it out, what looks great together, color combination wise, what makes your photos pop and tell the story. Because honestly, that's really what matters, right? Is we want to tell the story with those photos. And everything else that we add to this layout, color wise, accessory wise, is definitely an added bonus. And we want to complement the photos. Thanks, Kay, for letting me know that we're still live. It probably was an internet glitch on my side over here with the strange weather we've been having.
I traced it a little bit on the other side so that it's not quite a half, so that when it's behind the picture, it looks like it goes down into the picture, so nobody will know that I'm not using a full sheet of paper.
I I really love that big tree. It's too bad. It's retired. Is that correct?
Yes. But you never know. They bring stuff out of the vault all the time. And if you need winter, you can always email them at support@kiwilane.com. Tell them you would like winter brought back. Evidently need tiny holiday brought back because my tree's missing. I don't know where my tree is. The smaller version of the same tree, because that would have fit up here well. Until it's warmer weather outside, the neighbors have music playing.
I thought you were going to say they were mowing the grass or something.
No, I hear music. He likes to sit out in his garage and the kids play outside, like shooting basketball and stuff. I don't know, like maybe 10 years old, and the dad will sit outside and they play music while they're playing, or at least they did that in the summer. I'm hearing music, so I'm assuming that's what's going on. I can't see with it being dark, but
Red Poppy just joined us. Thanks for joining us.
hey.
Brandy's working with the Joy to the World kit. In case you guys are wondering if you've just logged on, it is the December 2021 Kiwi kit. And she's added in the border templates from that kit and some of the cards and the ornaments and the trees she's added from her collection of templates.
Maybe I just needed a half or traced it all because the way it's bigger.
Yes, Red Poppy, you're correct. It's me. I'm hanging out with Brandy tonight and helping her out.
She is my special guest.
Just answering any questions I can, chatting, ask me anything, ask Brandy anything. What do you want to know about the layout? Brandy, I feel your tree is really harsh on that line right there.
I know. I'm gonna put a tree over it.
Oh, you are? Okay, you have a plan.
Well,
okay, good.
I was thinking that this picture would come up more, but unless I have this tree coming down, but the bottom then would show. So technically I needed to trace the whole first scallop and I didn't. So as with scrapbooking, there's no mistakes. There's just room to embellish. So I'm going to embellish and put a tree over it to continue some of the small trees to sit up here, from carry on from the other page, so to speak.
Kelly is saying the exact same thing. Just put a couple little trees over there and that will cover it up. And there's the solution.
Well, and it ties the two pages together.
Exactly. And for those joining us, Brandy is using a sketch from the new Scrapbooking Sketches Kiwi Lane idea book. And it's on page 21 and it's the top idea sketch. So if you're wanting to follow along and turn to that page, you can kind of get an idea of what she's basing her scrapbook layout off of. Leslie said she had to step away for a little bit and now she's back and she loves the look of the ornaments.
Okay, thank you. I can't take credit.
Yeah, Red Poppy, I guess from here on out, they're going to be starting the lives in mountain time instead of central. And so it would technically be 6 o'clock mountain. But we went ahead and started tonight's live central time.
Because that's what I had on my books. Because it's always been central, but they're changing over to mountain. And Leslie and I were ready to go. So they changed that after this had already been scheduled. So I am playing
That makes it
around.
easy for me because I'm mountain time. I don't have to guess
Yeah,
anymore.
see, I'm central, so I like everything being central. Of course, that would be inked. This way I get
yeah,
this
don't
one.
forget about inking because that is going to really make everything really pop off that green background. And I think that's just going to, those are the final finishing touches. And I really think that's going to just make it pop. Are you guys big inkers or not inkers?
I ink about 50% of the time. Now this, because I've got green going on green, will be inked. But I ink about 50-50. I know some people are diehard inkers. They would die if they couldn't ink, but not me. If I'm doing bright colors, I don't want to ink unless I'm going to ink with like a bright red or bright whatever color to match. But
Linda's with you. Linda's ink all the way. Should we have like the saying, ink or go home?
did she say that?
No, I did. Oh, we got a bunch of die-hard inkers tonight watching. That's awesome.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. I'm special. We all know I'm okay. So
Linda loves my phrase. Yes.
let us adore him. I think this one is going to be too tall. That one might be too tall. Nope. That one's exactly perfect.
Put it at an angle.
Huh?
That other one is still too tall if you put it corner to corner.
It would still be too.
The star makes it too big. Are you putting the star or are you taking the star off?
I don't know. The star might be cute. What I did, actually, it's still laying here. I'll show you guys. This is the layout I did the other day. And so you can see I used the trees and the ornament on here and the sleigh and the big ornament that Sandy pointed out earlier. This is a layout of my son at Beta Convention. But what I did is I took my gold pen and I actually I outlined everything in gold, colored the bottom of the sleigh in gold and the star, but that's from Nativity. But I colored that, you can see that's that same tree. I just didn't, that's this tree. I didn't draw in the shapes on the inside, but I colored that there. So I could very well do that and add gold because there is gold in the picture. There's gold chain that the kids made, the gold lights and all that kind of stuff. So we'll draw it to begin with because it's easier to have it there already and then color it or cut it off if I don't like it. So.
And you know what, Brandy, now that you've kind of showed me that other layout there, what you did with the gold, you could definitely add the little details on the ornaments hanging down with the gold and then have a string of gold hanging from them to tie in that star, in the little Christmas tree forest.
My mouth is watering. I can smell the pizza.
What kind of pen did you use on that? It's very solid.
I used,
for being gold,
the permanent chalk marker. It is, I don't know. It says permanent chalk marker. There is no.
It's just a chalk marker. Okay, like what you would write on
silver, the I got gold, and I got a white one. Yeah, I got white, silver, and gold. And I'm not for sure what company makes them. There's no company name on it. But sorry, we can't enable you there. Let me get that star drawn. But it worked well for accents. And like you said, I could always accent this one the same way. Oh.
Linda thinks it looks maybe like a Marvy.
I'm
Could
not
be.
for sure. It doesn't say, but I mean, if you look at it, like, if it's, manufacturers make different brands. If you look, it's made just like that. There's the Stampin' Up! Chalk marker. If you look, the lid and everything is identical. It's made exactly the same. It just doesn't say Stampin' Up! So this is like going to be an off brand that makes Stampin' Up! Markers for them because it's exactly the same. So, not for sure. Oh, I have to drop them. I don't know. Oh, there's the black. I have a black one.
Thinking, did you get them at Pop Shelf?
Do what?
Red Poppy's asking if you got them at Pop Shelf.
I don't know. This day and age, I'm good to remember my name, much less where I bought something. Sometimes I can remember that, but Christina, otherwise known as Red Poppy, paid me today. She's going to do a retreat. They're going to a retreat again in Alabama. And since she's in Alabama, she's going to go with us. So I'll get to see her again. She's come to my retreat I have. This one's just one for our birthdays. And come to find out, her birthday was, 3 days before mine, Christina? So me and Kristen and Christina will all be celebrating our birthday at retreat. We need to have a birthday retreat.
And everybody can sing happy birthday to three.
Yes, last year, Kirby, my friend Kirby, made us, each one of us, there were 3 of us there last year with birthdays. And she asked us our favorite cakes, flavor of cake, and she made us a cake.
Oh, that's so nice.
So, I hear my neighbor's radio. I'm assuming y'all can't hear that, but I can hardly tell what it's playing. It's good old country music. Fix that in a minute. What other greens I got? Let me get one of all the greens on here. There's this green. That's the only thing with doing this. Hopefully you guys, how many of you are crafting along with me or doing something crafty? Because if you're sitting there, that's why I like Leslie here to talk to me, because at least you might get some commentary from us, because otherwise it's very boring to sit here and watch me trace and cut stuff out.
It's like watching paint dry.
Yes, I feel like it's very boring. So, who's crafting along with us? Again, if you haven't been on for me to tell you or somebody else, it's better to cut from a small piece than trying to maneuver a big 12 by 12 piece.
We do. We have Marsha crafting along with you and Jenny. I'm sure we got some more out there crafting along.
Yeah, Linda, I see she says about having her husband help. Mm-hmm. See, that's what gave me the idea, Linda, because you have somebody to talk to. And I thought, you know what? So when I asked, they're like, sure. So last month I had Sandy, and this month I had Leslie. It just makes it nice because Leslie and I are talking real time. Now she's seeing my layout delayed like you guys are. There's about a 30-second delay, which is a pain, but you get used to it. This way I have somebody to talk to. And kudos to Lee, Linda's husband, because my husband would not, for all the money in the world, step foot in my craft room, much less when I was live, much less go on the live with me. That is so not him. So kudos to Lee, but no, not happening in this house.
So I love listening to Lee's voice. I'm just like, oh, it just reminds me of, he's like this radio voice. It's a perfect voice for helping out with lives. I love it. It's so fun to hear you guys interact and his thoughts on things. So it's an awesome duo.
My husband would be like you, Leslie. Like I said, he would never do it, but if he did, he'd be like, make a decision, put it down. Come on, let's go.
I've been nice.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying he would be on your team bandwagon there. He'd be like, slap
He'd be
something
like, come on,
down.
Brandy, you have 10 minutes to get this double page layout done. Get it glued down now.
He
Ruby is saying that she is not talented enough to craft and watch at the same time. That's like walking and chewing bubblegum, right?
Linda Jones says it's relaxing watching me cut and trace. Okay, so
Linda said her husband came in and he said he is Team Kiwi Lane.
hey Lee.
I know probably from the screen view that you're seeing right now, it's kind of hard to distinguish the different colors of green Brandy's using here with the trees. But I think once those are all inked, they'll really pop off her page and you'll be able to see the different tones of green and the kind of look that she's going for here.
Plan to use some like pop dots too, and that'll have the shadow, make a shadow and make them pop even more. And then if I do like I did on that other page that I just showed y'all on this one, if I outline them in gold, as you know, outline everything with gold, that's going to make them stand apart too. So there's ideas are coming, or progress are coming.
Trisha said good night. She looks forward to seeing.
Glad you joined us.
Yep, she looks forward to seeing the finished project when it's all posted. I feel like we should have that. Is it the Jeopardy music while you're cutting?
I was just thinking we needed the music, but I was not thinking Jeopardy. I was thinking the music they play at the beginning of the live.
Oh, that's funny. I was thinking da 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 da.
Yeah, that would make me feel stressed because it'd be like, oh, time's running out. Time's running out.
The clock is counting down, Brandy. Hurry up. Cut. That would be kind of funny to play at a retreat if you had like everybody had to cut out the same template and they were timed at how quick or how long it took them to cut the same template out, like who was the fastest cutter.
Do we only want green trees and plaid trees, or do we want to pull in other trees?
Well, honestly, you could pull in any of the colors from the patterns. I mean, you could do a blue one if you wanted to pull more of the blue out of the border. I think I would definitely stay away from the red trees though, just so the ornaments pop.
Right.
Linda's saying some Christmas tree music. Oh, Christmas tree, yes. That brings back a lot of memories, Linda, from when I was a little girl and we used to sing that song at all of our church concerts for our parents to come and watch. And we would do that song every year. And we would have the little dance motions where we put our arms up and then we would turn in circles and put them down in the shape of a tree and twirl around. I kind of miss my kids. I don't have any kids in a choir anymore. My son just had his last. Kind of makes me sad because he's a senior, but he had his last band concert for the year. And it was
Oh, they're already
fabulous.
done with band?
Well, it was for the Christmas, concert. He'll probably have maybe
Like the
one
calendar
more.
year or the school year?
No, just for the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll probably have at least a spring concert before school ends. So Kelly, we might have to have you sing in German for us on Zoom. Kelly saying she had to sing "Oh Christmas Tree" in German for a concert.
Yeah. I like Germany. I can't speak German though. Germany is a cool place.
Has anybody gone to any Christmas light displays, drive around the neighborhoods, or I know that we have a few of those light shows that you can drive through or walk through that are pretty cool. We haven't had the opportunity yet since my kids are still in school and they just finished today, but I know you still have to get like pre-advanced tickets for a lot of that things, but we'll probably drive around the neighborhood, make some hot cocoa, grab our little doggy, and I'll go for a little ride around to look at the lights. You guys still like to look at the lights as well, or what kind of things do you like to do during the holiday season?
Relax and do nothing.
Relax. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Scrapbook. That's what I want to do during the holiday season.
Kelly said they have a big light up downtown for the first time. The Coca-Cola truck is touring. Oh, that'll be fun. It's fun to see cars that are lit up as well and parade lights. We did go to a parade. My son was in a parade. That was kind of fun. He plays the drums, and he actually had his drum set. He had some battery operated Christmas lights wrapped around it. It was very fun. Ooh, Hallmark movies. Yep. And Lifetime movies. Scrapbooking. That's what Linda says. It's kind of funny, you guys, because I don't think I've ever really watched the Hallmark Christmas movies. I know, gasp.
I haven't either.
Oh, okay. I know so many people
But I'm not a movie watcher.
They love the Hallmark Christmas shows, and I'm not sure about them quite yet, or which ones to look out for to actually watch. I always fall back on the, like Home Alone or Elf, those Christmas movies we watch every year.
See, I'm not a movie person. I'm a book reader, or I'm scrapbooking. If I'm not like at a crop or doing something with family or whatever, I'm reading or I'm scrapbooking. One of the two. Since COVID hit, I haven't been watching TV. Like I used to watch Survivor with my son, and he's gotten away from it because he works now. He's a senior as well. And we used to watch Survivor together, and I would watch The Voice, but then my husband number 3, Adam Levine, left The Voice, so I don't watch The Voice anymore. And then I used to watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette and that whole craziness, and they had one that I didn't like that was going to be Bachelorette, and so I stopped watching it, and then COVID hit and stuff, and I've never picked it back up. So since COVID's hit, I've watched, the only TV I watch is to watch my Titans, the Tennessee Titans play in the NFL. Other than that, I don't even turn the TV on for that. My husband does that. So I don't turn the TV on. I don't watch TV, which is weird because, I watched the reality shows before COVID, but not anymore. I'm scrapbooking or chatting on my Zoom group because, I chat, not scrapbook, and read. And lesson plans and, grading papers and all the other fun stuff that teachers do.
Linda, I agree. National Lampoon's Christmas, that's a classic in our house. And the funny thing is, this year I was out, Christmas shopping, and I came across a National Lampoon's Christmas like board game. And I haven't opened it up yet, but I went ahead and bought it because I thought it would be really funny to play with the kids and see who has the most knowledge about that movie. And I think it's like a trivia game. So I'm excited to break that open. It's probably we'll probably do it like on Christmas. We usually play games on Christmas and see who is going to be the ultimate winner. They had the Home Alone version too, but I kind of, my heart went to National Lampoon's Christmas. You just can't go wrong. All right. Well, it looks like your tree farm up there is coming along.
Ah.
Different shades. You got some plaid and some different shades of green, and you popped a blue one in there, I see.
Well, it's that green blue that's the back
of
one of those sheets. And so it's like I don't know. Because I cut the background. This is the red background sheet, one of the red background sheets. And the back side of that's what I told you. It's kind of like, it's not teal, but it's like it's a funny shade of blue, gray, green, something. And so, looking at it, I thought, well, that adds in,
I like it. I definitely think it helps pull the background color off of the border.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. And then, my mind's going to my tree, since they have a pattern, like that one's got stripes and that one's got the little, like, whatever design that is in there. But it's like they need something, stickles, they need something like ornaments on these trees.
Oh yeah, you could use the Nouveau drop, stickles, enamel dot.
I only have like one Nouveau drop. It's somewhere over here. There it is. All I have is this one. It's glitter, and it is silver moon dust. That's the only color I've got. I don't have it in red. Or I have a red like glitter pen somewhere. And I have red stickles. They might be dried up because I haven't used them in years. But
do you have Wink Stella?
It's just a plain one. It's not a red one. Like, it's a clear one that you can add to add sparkle. I'm throwing little pieces everywhere. I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. So how is COVID in y'all's area going? I was talking on my Zoom this afternoon when I got home from school, and my friend Debbie up in the Baltimore area is talking about how they're shutting games down, and of course they postponed 3 NFL games because they don't have enough players to play because they've got COVID. Around here, we don't have that going on in Tennessee. So I don't know.
That's funny you say that, because we found out that we're big hockey fans, and a couple of the Avalanche players tested positive last night, and they weren't able to play the game. They were pulled out of the locker room right away. But it's definitely still out there, that's for sure.
Red Poppy wants to know if you're a teacher.
I used to teach preschool back in the day for about 3 years. I subbed for a while with just preschool as well, but I haven't been teaching. Gosh, it's been, my son used to my youngest son used to go to work with me, and he just turned 16. So it's been a long time since I've stepped foot into a classroom with little kiddos. Thank you. I really do like teaching preschool. It's a fun age. I love them, but it is a lot of work as well. And the older I get, um, just the aches and the pains of bending over at those little tiny toddler tables, or on your knees at their level, because you definitely need to be at their level. It takes a toll on your body. Just even back then, I would come home and I'd be so exhausted by the end of the day, but it was worth it. I had fun while I did it.
Dude, I teach high school and I'm exhausted at the end of the day.
Well, at least you don't get boogers wiped on your shirt.
Well, now, I don't know. You never know with high schoolers what you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I would still take preschool over high school because, the preschoolers love you unconditionally and they listen to you. High schoolers can talk back and walk away.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try the top of red under this, like over here, and do the poinsettia and having that sit on top of it to add that red in over here. Of course,
it's looking good so far. I like what I'm seeing on my screen.
I'm going blind. I got another light and I need more light. Here lately I can't get enough light.
I struggle with my light. What do you guys recommend for light? I have an old Ott light and I feel like it gives off a lot of heat for some reason.
I've got this one that you can see there. Let's see if it shows. This is a 2-1 Ott light that splits in the middle. So yeah, you're seeing the two things there. That's a floor one. So I use that. And then this one that you're seeing in the top corner of the screen right here, that's an Ott light clip-on that's on my table, little drawer thing that holds my silhouette. And then I bought this, my mat. I showed that last time, the Caterpillar edge to edge cutting mat, lights up underneath. So if I wasn't on with you guys, I would turn this mat on and it gives me more light. And I like that. That's why I bought it. But on a live, it makes the layout itself dark. So it makes it harder for you guys to see. So
can you see through your paper with that cutting mat that lights up?
Yes. So like, ouch, hold on. It's on there. Where's that? I can't find the button. There you go. I don't know that. Well, it doesn't make it overly dark for you guys.
No, it doesn't actually.
It's got 3 things, but I don't know. Yeah, y'all can't really see, but like I can see the hash marks from the mat. I can see them through my background paper here. So if I'm laying stuff down straight, like I want this on straight, if I square up my background, I can put that on to where it's going straight across and stuff. And I like that when I'm doing titles and different stuff. So, but that's why I bought it, because it gives me more light coming from the bottom.
Actually just illuminated your layout. Like that's amazing.
I love it. I bought it, like I said, to give me more light. So I have light coming from the bottom and the sides. Give me light. Okay.
Linda says she can change the hues and brightness of her light. And she also uses, is it a ring light that you can do that with? I do have a ring light that I got with my Archon mount, but you know what? I never use it. You can, it kind of has like a little clip on it. You can clip it on to like your phone or something like that.
Right. I don't ever use mine either. I don't even know where it is. It's around here somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. She said it's her ring light that she can adjust. I haven't thought about, maybe I should look into getting a bigger ring light and try that instead of an aught lamp. But my aught lamp gets kind of warm to the touch. And then at some points I feel like I'm hot. You can really see the different tones of green now that you've turned on your backlight on your cutting mat.
Oh, yeah,
they're popping a lot more now.
Yes, Kelly, I see that. I'm getting ready to cut you one to go over here. You want me to add little trees over on the other side?
I was excited for that little cluster over there. I love layering. I don't know about you guys, but I love to layer once you get all your little templates cut out and trying to make like your little layering collage. I think it's just so fun.
I like to layer, but that's where I like to look at layouts or like the sketch to get the ideas to layer, because I'm not, so every once in a while I can layer really well, but that's one thing that I have to really think about and to really study. And sometimes the randomness of layering is not random for me, and it drives me nuts, and so I can't do it. So that's why, you know, using somebody else's like sketch or whatever helps me layer.
Deborah is loving the tree farm.
I like how y'all named everything.
It's funny because I seriously have a tree farm in my front living room where we keep our Christmas tree. I have a big picture that says, you know, tree farm. And I have trees lined up all different colors and shapes and styles on my coffee table. And then I have little tiny bottle brush trees all over the place. And so my daughter's like, yep, this is the tree farm room. I love it. It's so fun. I love Christmas decorating. It's so fun and festive. And it makes me sad when we end up taking everything down and then my house feels boring and it just doesn't feel the same. Do you guys feel the same way when you take down holiday decorations?
The only holiday decorations I have up, we have no tree up, is I have a Christmas wreath on the front door and a Christmas big board sign out, you know, leaning against the corner of the door kind of thing.
Well, Brandy, if I lived closer to you, I would be coming over to your house and getting out your tree and helping you decorate it so it would look fun and festive for you.
Nobody ever, like I said, I'm scrapbooking or reading. I'm not sitting in the living room. Nobody ever turns it on when we put it up.
Well, we would put it in your room where you read then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could buy a little tiny one. I think I would be sad if I didn't have some decorations up. I just love the
I
light.
had the tree at school. This one I'm scrapbooking.
Oh, that's true.
I decorated it, me and the students, and then I get the tree at my dad's house, the tree at my mom's house, and pre-COVID we had a tree at my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house, and so.
Oh, Jenny, she keeps her Christmas tree up till Valentine's now. That's amazing.
Yeah, I had a friend, she's passed away now, but she kept her tree up all year long, and every month she would redecorate it. So it'd be like a Halloween tree, a Thanksgiving tree, a Christmas tree, a snow tree in January, Valentine's in February, March was like leprechaun stuff. And so she had different ornaments and stuff, and she had pictures, y'all. You talking about all out decorating? The pictures on her wall changed for each season. So like she had Halloween pictures to hang up, like she went all out. It was crazy.
I agree with Cassandra, she's saying there's just something magical about the lights. I 100% agree with you. It is, it's magical. I think it was last year we had went to Arizona to see my daughter for college, to spend Thanksgiving with her because she was not supposed to leave the university because of COVID. And so we were able to go see her instead and spend the holiday with her. And while we were there for Thanksgiving, we did a light show that you drive through. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you, I've never done anything like that before. And it was magical. So we had a sunroof in our car. So my daughter and I stood up and popped out of the sunroof, and we would drive through the light show. And oh, I was just in heaven. It was magical. And I still to this day, I told my husband the other day the same thing. That was the most magical experience with lights that I had ever seen. And I hope that we can do that again.
We have a couple of drive-through ones around here. And then we have what's a mega resort. It's the largest non-casino resort in the United States. Or is it in the world? I think it's just the United States. I don't know. It might be the world. Anyway, it's in Nashville, Opryland Hotel. And they have the whole atrium. It's a massive hotel. Like, you can get lost. And I've lived here for my whole life, and I still get lost. CK Convention used to be held there and stuff. That's how big this hotel is. But anyway, they have an atrium area with live plants and all of that, and they decorate this whole hotel outside that you drive through, and inside you park and go in, and people do photos. They have poinsettias everywhere. It's massive. But then not too far from that is a drive-through lights one, and then there's another one like in Lebanon, Tennessee, I think it is. Okay, we're actually over our 2-hour time that I usually try to keep it to, because we don't want to take all of your time. But I will finish this and ink it and finish my tree farm, as you guys called it at the top, and journal. Sorry, I'm yawning. And get it posted to the Play to Create group so that you guys can see what it looks like ending up. Because I'm almost tempted, even though it would pull away from the red ornaments, is to take this and do a strip of red going right here across just these 4 photos. That's the next thought in my head, and to maybe bunch up these trees or something. I don't know. But I'm going to play around with it, and sometimes you're surprised when you see what I come out with in the end. It might not look anything like this. Let's see, that's too big to go up there. But thank you for joining Leslie and I, and thanks, Leslie, for joining. Oh, look, Kiwi Lanes is still on here. Is it Sonia still with us, or Susan, or somebody logged in? But thanks for joining us. Thanks for Leslie being my special guest. And
yep, thank you, everybody. I've had fun. I hope you had fun.
I'll get it inked and posted for you, but that way you can go enjoy the rest of your night, because I know some of you said you can't scrapbook and watch. So this way you can go get something crafty created and post it. And again, if you don't have this kit, it's a great one, and it is up for sale on the Kiwi Lane website. You can order the templates by themselves, which is the poinsettia that I have here, the borders, and what else is in there? The candle and the candle housing, the candle itself, and then the cardinal, the lantern. There you go. That's what I'm want. And
the candle holder.
Yeah, whatever, Anna. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a wonderful night, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. If you created something tonight, tag me in the post on the group. I would love to see it. Or if you create something with this layout, similar, even though mine doesn't it's sort of resembles that sketch, but tag me in the post. I would love to see it. But thanks for joining us. Kiwi Lane, are you cutting it off, or do I still need to? I didn't know you're still here.
Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
Let's see if they answer. Otherwise, I'll cut it off. I bet she turned it over to me. I get to see a close up of my hand. Let's see.